What's up, guys? I just watched the Babadook, and holy shit, I did not expect that to go down the way it did. Now, I got some notes down here, so I'm going to look down so that I can kind of read the notes. And that's so I can keep this consistent without going off track with what I'm trying to get across. All right, so first off, great fucking movie. I'm going to give you the spoiler free tidbits, and then later on, I'll get into a more spoiler heavy type of stuff. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'll give you a review where you can kind of take my analysis of it and go with it without having anything ruined for you as far as the story and acting and all that jazz goes. And for those of you who have already seen it, just a more in depth kind of look at it to see if you're like, all right, well, that changed my mind, or oh, well, no, that made me disagree entirely with how good this movie is. I know I'm in my fucking tan t-shirt and all that jazz. It's been a long fucking week, and I'm glad I got to watch this movie because it gave me a distraction that I needed. It really did, and I'm ever so thankful I got to watch it. So it was directed by Jennifer Kent, who I believe this is her directorial debut, and woo, what a way to debut! Hot on fire. I was fucking happy with this film from start to finish. I was happy. However, there is one small flaw, but I'll get into that. And that may have just been more so of me not paying attention versus me not really getting the full picture. And my glasses are crooked. I know it's because of this fucking gargantuan headset. So off the bat, good drama. I really felt invested in the two main characters of this film, as well as the side characters. Oh, there was one that was introduced, and he just kind of disappeared. I was like, where the fuck did he go? I thought they were going to do something more with him, but he just kind of disappeared off the fucking radar. Um, but otherwise, I was like, wow, like, they feel human, which is rare in a horror movie where everybody's fucking one dimensional and you don't give two shits about them. And it does good on the build up with the horror. Like the acting and the horror are fucking great, and I'm like, where the fuck has this been? Why can Australia get what America fucking can't? And this is an Australian film, by the way. I believe an indie Australian film, and it did good. God damn, it did well. The effects were great, even though they were practical. There was no fucking CGI in this. Oh, look at that! A film that doesn't use CGI, and it's fucking a success. And so far, it's been a financial success, so I can rub it in the face of the big studios that use all the fucking CGI and shit. Let's see. Another thing is that it felt more like a psychological thriller than a traditional horror movie, and it completely destroyed the cliche of horror films. It took nothing from the like formulaic approach that other films have taken, like the Annabelles and the fucking Paranormal Activities, and even more so, it showed that you can be fucking terrifying as shit without the use of heavy gore. Where like how Hostel, though Hostel was decent, and Saw used, which Saw was good for the first, I don't know, three films, and after that, it just felt like a fucking run of the mill bullshit. And then Final Destination, to me, I feel like Final Destination would have been good if the deaths were more practical and less supernatural. If the death, like, all right, you can use the same formula. Everybody can fucking die every time. I wouldn't have a problem with that if the deaths were practical, where it's like, oh, is it is it not like is death really working to kill these people, or are they just a victim of circumstance, and it doesn't leave that suspense out because all this fucking supernatural shit happens, for the convenience of killing everybody off, which to me kind of ruins the whole fucking treat that Final Destination offered. Where like, all right, the first two were great. I like the first two, even though the second one's kind of where the supernatural shit kind of rolls in. And where cars explode before they impact things, which makes no fucking sense. And then after that, it just became a bleh, whatever. Now, if you're, having a party or whatever, just want to watch a fucking throwback film, hey, have at it. It can be a fun treat where you can just laugh at how ridiculous it gets. And the villain, holy shit, the Babadook, he knows how to play his fucking mind games. God damn, I was like, oh, this motherfucker's going there. Damn. He's going places. He's really playing the mind games on both of these people, the kid and the mother, and he does it fucking well. The writing, he's not really a character in of himself so much as he's more of a an effect of the writing. Like he's not an actor. Well, he's an actor, but he doesn't say or do anything. It's mainly the writing, and then once you get to a certain point, the acting that builds him as a fucking intimidating force of fucking nature. And he plays his mind games well. He really gets into the head of the mother and just completely destroys her before he just, excuse me, pulls his trump card and boom, he's got her. He's got, like, the kid off the bat is like, mom, and the mom's like, no, nope, even though, excuse me again, I just had a soda. The mom's like, no, no, I don't believe you, I don't believe you. And then he's like, oh, you don't believe me? Well, let me do this. Boom, there he is. And again, it is proof that gore and violence and all that shit does not equal horror. This film is more about the mind games that it plays on the mother. All right, the two main forces are the Babadook and the mother, and the mind games that go in between, mainly from the Babadook's side. The mother's like, no, 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 I'm gonna tune this out, I'm gonna tune this out. It's not real, it's not real, it's not real. Boom, it's real. And when she realizes it, oh, it's too late. And it felt real. Like, these people felt like people I would actually know, because the mother's like, oh my god, my kid's a fucking mess. I lost my husband, and that's not a spoiler because you know that off the bat. Oh my god, my kid's a fucking mess. Everybody's like distancing themselves from me, and all this other jazz. And you can, like, all right, I'm gonna say off the bat that at first I felt like just fucking thumping the kid, like, dude, chill the fuck out. But I think he suffers from psychological trauma, because of his mother. And it's not any fault of hers. I'm not saying she's a bad mother in any way, shape, or form, but she's just not able to cope properly with her husband's death, and therefore that has an effect on her kid, who's like, he's looking for an affection and attention, and his mother's just unable to give it because she has so much going on. She's a single mother trying her best to provide for him, provide for herself, and he's just, he has no idea what's going on. And there were a few moments where I felt like he was justified in some of the things he did, or at least I was like, yeah, I probably would have done that if I was in his position. Namely, the bit where he's in a treehouse and some person is saying some things to him, and he decides to take matters into his own hands. And I was like, I would probably yell and scream at him, but if I had been in that treehouse, I'd been like, yeah, they kind of had that coming. Just because of the things they were saying, they kind of had that coming. Let's see, what else? All right, and this is the last bit about the movie before I get into the spoiler bits. All right, so the ending kind of confused me. I'm not going to go into why. Actually, I'll go into why in my spoiler tidbit here that's coming up in a bit. But otherwise, the ending just confused me. That was the only real flaw this movie has. I was like, wait, what's going on here? I'm puzzled. What's going on here? But I mean, if you're a horror fan, if you're looking for a genuine horror film, this is it. This is a fucking good film. Skip Annabelle. That movie it had moments, but it was otherwise garbage. If you watch Jeremy John's review, he shat on it a bit more than I think he should have, but otherwise, I generally agree with what he was going with. I generally agree with that. But otherwise, Babadook, good film. No, not good film. Fuck it. Great film. Great film. Only flaw to me was the ending. Now, I'm going to get into my more spoiler-heavy bits, so if you have not seen the movie, this is the time to end the video. I'll give you a 5-second pause or whatever. I need to look at my notes anyways. It's your 5-second warning. Alright, so off the bat, this film is not about the monster at all. It is not about the monster. The monster is the literal embodiment of the stress and problems that the mother's having, dealing with her husband's death, raising a kid, handling her job, doing everything, and her kid's got these psychological issues, and she's got her own psychological problems from her husband's death, and this monster literally just embodies all of it and throws it at this mother, and just goes to the fucking store with her, just completely destroys her mentally and psychologically. I was like, God, man, this guy's just this demon or whatever the fuck he is fucking with her. He's just fucking with her, because it starts off that she gets, like, her kid pulls this book from the shelf, and she's like looking over, and this book is fucking creepy. I was like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? And the first iteration of it, and I'll get into what I mean by the first, is she's looking over and she's like, yep, this is garbage. So the kid's like fucking crying, and she's like trying to read him a more child-friendly story, because he's like, what the fuck? The Babadook's gonna kill us. Not my kid. I was like, God damn, if I was that kid, I would be fucking terrified too, because that book was creepy as shit. So she rips it to pieces and throws it out. I was like, yeah, fuck it. We're not having this. So she gets at her door. She opens it. Nothing's there. She gets boom, boom, boom. at her door. Again, nothing there. Oh, looks down. The book's there. She's like, what the fuck? She picks it up, it goes through the pages, and they've changed. And it's like, it's basically the Babadook saying, oh, you think you can just rip this book and throw it out? No, 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 no. The more you deny my existence, the more powerful I become. And it's like, just let me in. Come on, you know you want to see what's underneath these robes I've got going on. That sounds kind of pervy, but it's basically like he wears a disguise, but that hides the real demon within. And so he's just fucking with her, and then she just burns that motherfucker, goes to the cop and says, yeah, I think I'm being stalked. And the cop's like, all right, can you tell us what's going on? There was a book at my door. Oh, do you have this book? Oh, you burned it? Sorry, can't help you. And then she looks behind the cop, and there's like this fucking suit that looks just like the monster, which I swear to God, this thing looks like the fucking love child of Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth and Edward Scissorhands. This motherfucker was creepy as shit. You only see him once, but goddamn, that image is scarred in my mind. Sinister be damned, this motherfucker looked creepy. I was like, I literally had to walk away for a second. I was like, nah, I need a break after that scene. All right, things calm down. All right, I'm gonna go take a break right quick. Anyways, monster was he literal? Yeah, all right, I already went over that. Okay, now my theories on what the monster was supposed to be. I thought it was all in her head. I thought that she had read her child's book, and her child was actually denying it, but in her mind, he was actually saying it's real, and in her mind, she's trying to reject it. Like, all right, he's saying the Babadook is real when he's really saying the Babadook isn't real, but in her mind, he's saying that it is real, and she's like trying to push it out of her head, until her mind literally creates this embodiment of the Babadook. And I thought it was going to be that she had like maybe an addiction to alcohol. Like, what was that one game where you play as a child and you're being chased by a monster? But what it really is, and like I said, this is spoiler heavy for that game. Although if I don't name it, anyways, basically the mother has an addiction, the child has to navigate through. You think it's a monster chasing the kid, when it's really just the mother is an alcoholic and abusive. Excuse me, goddamn, I need to breathe when I drink. Had some rum and what was it, ginger ale? No, I had some gin and ginger ale. That was it. 2 glasses in, so I'm okay. Not fit to drive, but otherwise okay. I'm looking over my board here. All right, so I should have done this earlier, and I kind of wrote it off to the side, which I don't know why I did that. But S.C. Davis and Noah Wilson. S.C. Davis played the mother. Noah Wilson played the son. Great acting, especially for Noah Wilson. It's rare that you see a great child actor. And the last one I saw was in what was that Time one with what's his face? It had Bruce Willis in it. What was the name of the guy that played his younger self? Oh, what was that? It involved the time loop where basically they would send somebody from the future to the past, and then the guy in the past would kill the dude that they sent back until he found out that it was himself that he sent, and he's like he sees an older version of himself. He's like, wait, what? What was that fucking guy's name? It's gonna bother me until the time I fall asleep tonight, which should be soon, so I got to get up at fucking dark 100 tomorrow. Let's see, I thought it was on Red or battling demons. Oh, okay, another tidbit where it's like I feel like it's her thing. I feel like that she caused the death of her husband, or she had a part in it, or she felt responsible for it. And then she turned to an addiction, and then boom, the embodiment of her her psychological, or PTSD. There we go. Her PTSD embodies itself into this Babadook, which she creates in which her mind creates as an embodiment of her stress, and that she has to overcome it, which she does. Now, I'm going to get into why the ending confused me, and I believe I've gone over everything on this little chart here. Let's see, mind games. Yep, I've gone over it. All right, more into why the ending confused me, the more in-depth description of why the ending confused me. And that is, I was like, all right, so she tells it, if you hurt my child again, I will fucking kill you. I will bloody kill you. I forget the exact wording, but basically, it may as well have been, I will motherfucking kill your ass. May as well have been that, because she was like, you fuck with my kid, I will fucking kill you. I will make it slow. You thought the Red Wedding was scarring? Oh, no. I'll give you a scarring. So this thing kind of retreats down to their cellar. It flashes back. Kids coming out of the old lady's house, their neighbor's house. This old lady who's really, really sweet. I was like, oh, that's a really sweet old lady. Who has Parkinson's disease, which I was like, oh, especially the way the kid just bluntly mentioned. I'm like, oh damn, that's fucked up. Um, and she's like, oh no, it's okay, it's okay. I'm like, oh damn, that makes it even more fucked up because she's okay with it. Oh, anyways, so he walks out, and the mother's like, oh, you had a good time, everything's cheery. I'm like, something's gonna happen here. Something's gonna happen fucking here. So they're in the backyard, and he's like collecting worms and maggots and shit. And I'm like, something's gonna happen here. And they go to the cellar. There's all these locks. Like it's a fucking safe that contains like the fucking Bank of the World's cash in it. And so she undoes all the locks. And the kid's like, "Can I come? Can I come? When you're older. When you're older." I'm like, "What the fuck's going on here? When you're older." And he's like, "Okay." And then he kind of skedaddles off, and she goes down, and she's carrying this bowl down to the fucking stairs, puts it down, and I guess it's well, it is obviously the Babadook is like, "What's up, bitch?" And she's like, "Whoa, chill out, chill out, chill out. It's all good, it's all good. It's just me." Babadook's like, "You brought me food. I will spare you this day, human." And then he scoots back and is like, "Oh, forgot this." Yoink! Pulls the ball back, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go now." And I was like, "So are they now slaves to the Babadook? So did the Babadook win? Did they win? Are they like, all right, we're gonna create a treaty here. We're gonna feed you worms and maggots, and we'll allow you to live in our cellar as long as you do not fuck with us." Oh, by the way, if a burglar breaks in, you got us. You got us. Yeah, I got you. Good. All right. So the next time that burglar breaks in, we're gonna just undo these locks, or actually, we're gonna make it look like this. The cellar has like all of our money and shit. And when he comes in, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fuck him up. Hey, boo boo, I'm gonna fuck him up. He comes for my picnic baskets. So, anyways, I was like, so do they have like the best fucking home security now, or are they just slaves to the fucking demon now? Did the Babadook intend it to be that way? I was confused. But otherwise, the film is great. I'm making fun of the ending, but in a good way, in a way to more so entertain you than actually insult the movie. It's just the ending didn't really ring a bell with me. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Excuse me. I'm probably gonna watch it one more time to kind of maybe, God, to maybe understand what was going on with that ending, because the ending I was like, all right, so I don't know what's going on. Do I understand? And that's a bad Yoda impression, but anyways, so that's generally the synopsis I have for the film. It's a great film. If you're a horror junkie, you will love it. Well, provided you're a genuine horror junkie and not into like fucking, or if you think that Paranormal Activity has passed as a genuine horror franchise, which it freaking hasn't, at least since the third one came out. Third one was the last one that had any semblance of what the fuck I was doing. After that, cash cow, milking them teats until the well runs dry. And once it runs dry, all right, off to bigger and better things. So that being said, folks, what did you think of the Babadook? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you not care about it? Let me move that so I can end the video here. So let me know what you guys think in a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in more movie reviews, which I'm going to get more into now, and video game let's plays as well as reviews, which I also need to get back into. Which reviewing movies is a lot easier than reviewing games, as I found out, because at least with movies you just say what comes to mind. With video games, you got to explain the mechanics and all that jazz. But anyways, I will see you all next time. Have a good night.